El Salvador is easily one of the most beautiful countries out there. Having gone there for a month during the summer of my junior year in high school, I can say without a doubt I would love to go back. While now El Salvador is one of the safest countries in the world, this was not always the case. For the first time in a couple of years, El Salvador has had its lowest homicide rate recorded to date, all because of the new president Nayib Bukele and his quote unquote war on gangs. This has been essential to the immense drop, although some of his methods are being questioned around the world since he essentially took away people's rights to defend themselves in a court of law and can be tried based on mere association with anything malicious. Today, I'm going to be interviewing my father, whom grew up in arguably the peak of gang violence in El Salvador, and we're going to be hearing his take on the new president. So I'm originally from El Salvador, moved to the States in the year of 2000, and here's my take on the new president of El Salvador, Nayib Bukele. So, what was growing up in El Salvador like before Bukele? Well, for that time, I mean, it was in the 90s that I remember. It was fun, you know, as a child, you really don't look into the dangers. Like, for example, they used to tell me, hey, be careful, don't stay up late, too late at night, don't go to this place, don't go to that other place, because you could get in trouble. At that time, you know, parents, I felt like in a way they didn't tell you everything about what were those dangers, and you just needed to go with what they told you and just don't go to those places, you know. Yeah, I mean, one particular time I think I have told you about this. You know, we were playing soccer. We were playing a soccer game, and there was a gang member that used to play with us because he used to live where we live. And how do you say no to a gang member? You know, that was our thing. You know, hey, you part of our community over here, so he will come and ask, hey, can I play? And I'm pretty sure most of the guys were like, no, we don't want you to play because you are just a danger, you know, playing among us. And but he was playing with us. He used to play with us, and he was, I think, a member of the 18th Street gang. And then as the game went on, you know, and then after a few minutes, we saw some guys at a corner of the field, you know, just pointing with a gun, going like this. Uh, and then I remember my brother, my older brother, told me, "Just go, you know, just go, go." He was close to where those guys were, you know, and he told, "Just go, go, run, run, run." And then he went one way, I went the other way. Uh, Later on, we found out that who they were aiming at, you know, it was the guy that was playing with us. They wanted to just kill him because he was a rival member. Because the people that were aiming at him, they were from the MS-13 gang, and he was part of the 18th Street gang. And that one time, yeah, it was really scary because all of a sudden you're playing, you know, and you see a guy with a gun just aiming at someone you don't know who he's aiming at, and you with your family member, your brother there, and you know, I'm pretty sure my brother was scared, and he told me, "Hey, just go, okay, go." Well, he has put a lot of laws, you know, where he's been arresting a lot of gang members. He's been putting pressure on officials, you know, to really implement the laws and make sure that the streets are actually uh, being taken care of, and you know, he's been hard on them. Like before, here a lot, the gangs had so much power that, let's say, they will kill someone today, the next morning they would just pay a fine, you know. and I guess alive it was meant $500, and it was just like, for real, at those laws that we have over here that you can just kill someone and pay a fine or whatever they call it, back then. You will hear that a lot, that it was just ridiculous, like how the system was working. Nobody was really doing anything with the laws or changing them as of how that could change, because uh, the gangs just have so much power, and they didn't do anything about it, because one, they were just so scared and had just so much power. They would threaten judges, police officers, family members of the victims, if they were to do something against them or to pursue, I think it's called, going after them because of what they did, that they will kill the whole entire family, even what they call them, the persecutors, I think. I mean, it was messy. It was messy like that, and I feel like now, since Bukele took over, I think after a year that he took over, um, he has implemented many things to stop that and to make sure that the laws are now uh, actually taking place and being followed the way they should be followed, and changing laws to make sure that the gang members are actually being incarcerated for their crimes. Uh, and he's being harmed then, and I think that's what everybody was hoping for, someone to come and actually put a stop to all of the nonsense that was going on, and make sure that these gang members were not terrorizing the people. And he has done a good job when it comes down to that, making sure that he's implementing laws, and making sure he's arresting these criminals and putting them behind bars where they need to be, and that there's no such thing as just paying a fine for a human life, and making sure that they stay behind bars. Well, so far, I think Bitcoin as a legal currency, I think it's called legal, yeah, currency, pretty much. I don't think he should have gone that route, because you talking about a very complex currency, bringing such thing to a third world country where it's a very non-educated uh, country. I don't think it was a good idea. Um, I think that was not a good move on his end. It's bringing a lot of attention, and when I say attention, I mean a lot of investment, which is good for the country. But that also has a negative impact, because whatever um, good that brings is going, I feel like it's taking the essence out of El Salvador, because it's getting westernized, and there's a lot of people coming in and investing in the country, um, with different ideas that is not actually, how can I say this, it will help, but eventually I think is going to take the essence of of, of the country.